Hey guys, welcome into the Sportscast here with your hosts, Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Guys, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
Doing pretty good.
Doing pretty good. Awesome. Well, I'm out at my brother-in-law's house, a little different setup here on if you're looking for the YouTube. So a good week, a good weekend of college football is back, Craig. I know you've been watching you had Michigan play, and we had the big game of the week. It was Ohio State and Texas. So I'm forward to getting into some college football later down the road here. But this episode tonight is all about the NFC predictions. We're going to go through each division, go through the teams, kind of tell you what we think they're going to stand at the end of the season, give you our winners of each division. Last week we did the AFC. We had some good conversation, guys, and just we had some couple hot takes in there on who we thought. So I'm interested to see with the NFC where we're going to go from here. We're going to start out with the South because I think it's the easiest division to kind of predict here. I think it's a two-team race. I think it comes down between Tampa and Atlanta. I think the biggest thing, guys, for me is in Tampa is Baker's consistency. He has he had a great year last year, right? He had great stats last season and played his butt off, and the consistency. We've talked about it before, Craig. The consistency of finally getting a offensive coordinator, the same offensive coordinator, really helped him out. I want to see him take a next step this year. I want to see Baker. All right, they know what I can do. Now this is the standard I'm going to stay at. We don't need to see a drop off. They went out and they got, they signed their wide receiver there. They went out and they drafted Emeka Mbuka. If y'all remember on the draft night show, they took my wide receiver I wanted right before we did. So they're adding the weapons. They have a pretty good defense. I think Tampa it's kind of their division to lose for me. But I think Atlanta is a one to kind of watch out for. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with Penix Jr. He came in last year as Kirk Cousins got hurt, and they brought him in because Kirk Cousins was playing terrible as well, and he looked pretty decent. He made some good throws. I'm ready to see him grow with that. Am I wrong with it thinking this is a two-team division? I mean, I don't think Panthers and the Saints are really going to do much.
No, I mean I think New Orleans with the rookie quarterback, the obviously the sudden retirement of Derek Carr due to the injury, and you're going with Spencer Rattler, you probably aren't going to get um a lot out of him right away. It's going to take some time to get him in the speed of the game and everything like that. Atlanta, I just don't know defensively if they have enough. I think Tampa is probably the easy choice with what Baker did and the weapons they added and the way he played. I mean, he had what could have been numbers wise in the MVP conversation. You didn't realize it right away, but when you looked at the overall season that he had, I think Tampa is your favorite. I think, like you said, it was theirs to lose, and I believe you're right.
No, yeah, I can't disagree with that at all. With Baker, with what he can do, and it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of a strange. I guess it's kind of a strange division, right? Like there's not a whole lot of number ones like out of this entire division that you think might go all the way. But I think out of any of these teams, I cannot disagree with the Buccaneers based on just pure of kind of what they did last year versus what these other teams are doing, and a lot of these other teams are not just here to grow, I guess. And then with Baker's been in the league for long enough. I think we kind of know what Baker Mayfield can do.
Yeah, and you want to look at the Panthers. They benched Bryce Young, and we thought, Craig, we talked about it before. We talked about that's going to kill his mental. I mean, you can go out there and you can mess with his head. Well, they brought him back, and he looked better. The benching kind of worked for him, which it usually doesn't with these guys, but it looked to be better. I think they're going to want to see him grow. They were 5-12 last year. That's really kind of what this franchise is looking for. Is Bryce our guy? We picked him up high in the draft. They haven't done a lot to put a lot around him, in my opinion, but he grew up a little bit at the end of the season after coming off the benching. And for the Saints, all I have put on there is Spencer Rattler as your quarterback, and that's enough said. They're going to struggle. They're going to struggle mightily, and unfortunately for them, Derek Carr's retirement. And Craig, I totally forgot about him retiring right before you said that earlier. So thanks for the reminder. But yeah, I kind of feel bad for the Saints. But yeah, it's just really Tampa. I don't know if Atlanta has enough yet. It's really going to rely on Penix Jr. Isn't Cousins still the backup quarterback there, Craig? Don't
Yeah,
they still
he's
have him on the
there. I mean,
roster?
he's plenty of making them millions of dollars to hold the clipboard. And I mean, Carolina doesn't do the quarterback any favors and goes and trades his favorite target. You know, a week before the season, they trade Adam Thielen back to Minnesota, and so I don't know exactly what they're doing there. You know, it's one of your bigger weapons,
Yeah.
and you trade him away, and so you know who's Young throwing the ball to now? A bunch of guys that nobody really knows. And you know, I like Baker had all these numbers last year, and he did it with a bunch of backup wide receivers. I mean, he lost Evans for part of the year. He lost Godwin for a majority of the year. So, I mean, if they could stay healthy, I think watch out. They could definitely make some noise in that division.
All right, guys. Well, the way I have it set out is I have Tampa number 1, Falcons number 2. I got the Panthers, and then I got the Saints. That's my 4.
That's probably pretty accurate. I mean, Carolina and New Orleans might flip flop depending on how bad Rattler is. You know, if he really struggles. I mean, they seem to like him, but you know, I don't know what you're going to get out of Kamara. He's getting a little long in the tooth for you know the running back age, and so yeah, I think that's probably safe.
Jeff, what you got there, bud?
I'm going the same direction you're going with, in exactly the same order.
Yeah, I just don't. This is one of those. That's why when we did it right off the bat, it's not one of those that really. That's hard. It's not hard to pick. You have a couple divisions where you're probably thinking, man, this could go either way. I just don't see any real surprises out of here. But you know, the Falcons could if Baker has that inconsistent year. But I think we kind of know what he is, and hopefully he comes out for their sake and does what he did last